Hi, I'm back. I think humans are really interesting because we're born, and that sounds really stupid, doesn't it? We're born, and we sort of have this thing that we all do where we think that we're doing the right thing. Like we grow up, and we think that by the time as a little kid, for me anyway, by the time that I was 18, from like a 6-year-old perspective or even a 10-year-old perspective, by the time I was 18, I was going to have it all figured out. I was going to know myself incomplete and totally. I was going to have X, Y, and Z. And 18, I was going to be grown up and have this, that, and the other. And I was going to feel a sense of contentment and accomplishment and happiness. And it doesn't work like that. I think that you're not done growing up by the time you reach adulthood. You do more growing up when you're an adult than you do as a child. It freaks you out to turn of age and to realize all the responsibilities you have, all the responsibilities you have to take on. It's always your fault as an adult. If you didn't pay that bill, you can't blame that on your mum. It's your fault. If you don't have your bank card when you go into Tesco, it's your fault. And even getting somewhere on time, you can't blame it on your parents because they didn't give you a lift. It's your fault. And it's little things that you start thinking, oh my god. And I feel that and you're probably thinking, what has this got to do with mental health? But I do actually have a point to what I'm saying. I think we're all born followers, aren't we? That you are learning about the world as a kid, and that's primarily what you do. You learn about other people and what other people do, and you learn to sort of follow everybody. And then when you hit puberty, or when you start, if you like, to mature, so that you do more things on your own, you then have to you then sort of are like, oh my god, I have to be my own person, have my own identity, and what clothes do I wear, and what job do I want to do, and what, what A levels am I going to take, and there's all this like stress, and you indulge in all those things that much that you are sort of brainwashed into thinking this is gonna make me content. This is gonna, what, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna bring me this happiness and this peace, and it doesn't. I don't know. I seem to have these epiphanies sometimes where I'm like, I listen to people talking, and the more I listen, and the more I look around me, I kind of realize that this happiness thing is so embedded into people. Even me, you can be looking to be happy so much that you just end up not there because you're looking so hard. You're looking in places you shouldn't be looking. For the most part, when we talk about what we want and what we want to achieve, usually it's for other people's approval. When you think about it, as a child, you did things for stickers, and you did things on the basis of reward. You did things to be told that you were good, and you always did things for other people. So you were always learning how to get the best from the world around you. As a little kid, all that someone can primarily teach you is about where you stand in relation to everything, not how you fit into it. And 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 I think that when you get older, you start to realize who you are and how you as a person have to strive through in a world that maybe isn't as accepting as it might have seemed when you were a kid. You come out as gay and you think, holy shit, that Where do I fit into this? Because nobody's ever told me. Nobody can tell you how you're going to fit into society, or if you're going to fit in. And it's okay not to fit in, but it's hard. We're all oppressed to a certain degree, and we all try to cover that oppression with this fight to be happy and accomplish things. And like, you get to my age and you start thinking about careers and university. I've come to say something that I never thought I would say, and that is that music can't make me happy. Music is a thing that I want to do because I can do it, and I do love doing it, but it can't make me happy. And when you really think about all of it, like whether you strive to have children or own 60 horses or be a champion footballer or be a bus driver, there's nothing wrong with any of that, and there's nothing wrong with saying I want to read X amount of books before I die. I want to travel the world. I want to study rocks for a living. I don't care what you want to do. I don't care how many goals you have. They aren't going to make you happy. Finishing school was supposed to make you happy, but then whatever stuff was in front of you, looming in front of you, and you overcame that. You got a car, and that didn't make you happy. Why? Because we move as people. You do something, and you love the way it feels to achieve something, and you love the feeling of achievement, and you should love the feeling of achievement, and you should be proud of yourself. But we all move, and we have to move because life moves and time moves, and so we are addicted to this up that we feel when we get something done. But for the most part, the up's temporary, because especially with like possessions, getting a new dress or getting the shoes that you saved up hard for, they wear in after a while. You've had them for a week now, and now you're looking at a new pair of shoes. Do you know what I mean? It's you're it's situational. The things that happen when you're 16 are good for when you're 16, but when you're 40, then you've moved on. You could almost say that the 2-year-old version of yourself, or in fact, you probably should be saying this, the 2-year-old you is not the same as the 15-year-old you, which is not the same as the 25-year-old you. And so the things that you aspire to be as a 2-year-old are not the same as the things that you want when you're 25. And there's all these other considerations you have. You don't have the awareness of yourself when you're 2. You don't. You are discovering the world. It hasn't discovered you. You don't know much about yourself. You don't have a knowledge of oppression, and you don't feel oppression, and you don't know what it's like to be a failure. And everybody should, to some degree, be a failure. And that's what we're scared of, isn't it? Let's be honest. You are scared of failing. You're always scared of failing, and that's when you can stop moving. We strive to do things so that we're not a failure. Does that make sense? You apply for a job, and if you can't get a job, you're a failure. Well, that's a bit backwards, isn't it? To who? To who are you a failure? What if it's not? What if that's not what you're supposed to do? You know, there's a whole world of things out there, and we still have this determination that will set landmarks that if we can't reach, or even if they're really high, we must be a failure. Of course you want goals, and you want to achieve stuff. Like, I want to do that. I want to achieve what I want to achieve, but there's a reality that's just hit me very hard, that happiness is within me, that I can't look to anyone else or anything to make me happy. I can say, I can do this. I want to do this job because I feel like this job, you know, this job can be something that I can do every day, and that I can see myself enjoying every day. But maybe that's not how it's supposed to be, or maybe that's not what's going to make me happy. Maybe I don't know enough about it, because you're always living and learning. After you've hit the flag, you always are going for the next flag, and we never ever stop, do we? Like, you you don't. I realized that I pushed and pushed and pushed, like, for so long with music. I started it, and all I did and was push myself, and I'm happy with that. But I wore myself out, and I'm still tired from that. I did so many exams, I did so much work, and sometimes I still ask myself why, because now when I look at it, it doesn't make me happy I did all that stuff, at the time it was a sense of accomplishment, but then there's always the next bit, and I'm always just like, it's always like climbing up a never-ending ladder. And instead of feeling happy that I've done all that stuff, all I feel is stressed that I've got more stuff to do. And I don't know how this ends. I'm still trying to work that out. Sometimes I think I'm trying to reach a goalpost, but why? What's the point, especially if you're not taking the time to actually enjoy it, or taking the time to think, yeah, these are all the achievements I had, but because I want so many more achievements, and I want the rush of feeling like I've done something worthwhile, I'm just gonna tire myself out, and I feel it's really important, especially when you've got a lot of stuff going on in your head. Just stop pushing yourself in this really unhealthy way. Because I've sort of noticed it going on where instead of it's almost like a race, like I'm running a huge race, and I know life is short, but what's the point of running a really fast race your entire life? And that's what I've been doing, really. I don't know where this has come from either. Like, it's just come into my head, and I'm not sure if this is advice, but I just wanted to sort of put it out there that when you think about it, how how happy are certain things going to make you feel? How happy are they going to? Why is that? Why is a certain thing in your life? Why is it the thing that will make you happy, and how do you know that? Why do you beat yourself up if you try and you can't get there? What if you didn't get there because you were never supposed to get there? Or what if you didn't get there because it was never really going to make you happy? We strive for these things and we get there, and if we don't fail, or failure is only personal to you, like you are the only person that fails yourself, really. Like, some people never really care if they fail, and other people are just so wrapped up in failure, like I am. I'm the first to admit that I always fail myself before I've even started, and it's only me that's failed me because nobody else did. And even if I failed an exam, it's just an exam. I can resit it, or it's not going to have a huge impact. Like, if you fail your maths GCSE, I failed it. I failed it once and I passed it the next time. Like, what does it matter? Why is that gonna define me as a person? It's not. I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a screw. At the time, it mattered. Now it doesn't. Same with with these goals that we set. They matter, and then they don't. I kind of want everyone to think about that, so that you're not dedicated to just one thing that's gonna make you happy, and you don't know it, because you get the up, and then suddenly it's not an up anymore, because you're flat again, and you want to feel the lift that you get when you achieve something. I think we should all just be very, very aware of that sort of, it's almost dangerous thinking that you could spend your entire life focused on something, and it never makes you happy and content. Just let me know what you think, really. Like, this could be a whole philosophy topic. I really don't know where that's, because it's left me like feeling a bit unsteady. I don't know what being happy really is now. Like, it's like, it's clearly not the things that I strive to achieve. It has to be something else. I don't know. It's not in material possessions, is it? Because I think if it's content happiness, not like woohoo drug like high happiness. Content is not. It doesn't come from getting a Mac computer, and it clearly doesn't necessarily come from getting your dream job. Like, everything's gonna be a hurdle at some point, or everything's gonna be a slide downwards, or just stay flat. And the idea for me of always being flat, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this video because it's too long. Bye.